Part 12. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q. Int Love Is. Chapter 111. In the live broadcast hall, as Boss Yang offered a terrifying sky-high price of 80 million, everyone present looked at her. Even Yang Lin was no exception. He didn't expect that Boss Yang would be so crazy. But after thinking about her age, he seemed to understand that she was the oldest among the three actresses present. Although she has now embarked on another development path, her acting career has never given up. It's just that time is not forgiving, and now the entertainment industry is gradually becoming younger. In the past, people born after 1985 were called florets, but now they are all old people. Generations born in the 1990s and 2000s are the mainstream in today's entertainment industry, especially female artists. Reba and Lu Tianxian, who were beside Boss Yang, couldn't help but show a hint of relief on their faces after experiencing a short period of shock. Apparently they have given up completely now. At the same time, in the old house of the Chen family on the top of the mountain, the strong woman Chen Lan also looked at the screen of her mobile phone with a wry smile. Forget it, 50 million is already my limit. Any more will require using the company's liquidity. For a beauty elixir, it's not worth it after all. Hearing her words, Chenda on the side couldn't help but nodded. If you think about it this way, I can rest assured that I can leave the company to you in the future. If it were other objects, it might be worth fighting for. If it's just a pill, it's really not worth it. If not, wait 2 days and then ask the Taoist priest to come up. With Chen Lan giving up, the final price of the ice muscle jade bone pill was fixed at 80 million. When the bidding time passed, Boss Yang also successfully obtained this elixir that was refined by Yang Lin himself. At this moment, the audience in the live broadcast room finally reacted. Holy crap, crazy, crazy, I didn't wake up, I'm going to have another nap. 80 million, my god, I never dreamed that I had so much money. It's terrible. It's simply terrible. They say women have strong spending power. I saw it today. Boss Yang is too impulsive. Is it really worth spending 80 million to buy such a pill? I guess he's on top, not just for the elixir, but also for a chance to win. Women have a stronger desire to win than men. This is probably the highest price today. There should be no more exaggerated prices than this in the future. This thing will definitely become a hit on the entire internet. Spending 80 million to buy a hit on the entire internet can make up for it a little bit. I just don't know how effective this so-called ice muscle jade bone pill is. While the audience in the live broadcast room was discussing heatedly, Yang Lin also picked up the first small porcelain bottle and walked towards Boss Yang. It just so happens that I can save on postage. As he spoke, he placed the small porcelain bottle in front of Boss Yang. And when Boss Yang saw the small porcelain bottle in front of him, there was a hint of complexity in his eyes. It is definitely impossible not to regret it. After all, it was 80 million, not 8,000 yuan. Even with her current net worth, it's still a lot of money. In the current economic downturn in the entertainment industry, I don't know how long it will take to earn 80 million. Besides the trace of regret, she was more worried. If the effect of the medicine is not as strong as she imagined, wouldn't it? With a hint of anxiety, she slowly reached out to the small porcelain bottle. At this moment, Yang Lin's voice came again. Taking it directly orally, no need to drink it with water. After hearing Yang Lin's words, Boss Yang, who was still hesitant at first, opened the cork of the bottle and poured out a small white pill like a wax pill inside. With the appearance of this small white pill, a strange fragrance instantly spread throughout the live broadcast hall. It looks like a rose or an osman thus. If you smell it carefully, it seems to contain thousands of different flowers. After smelling it twice more, everyone felt like they were intoxicated. At this moment, Boss Yang swallowed the pill in his hand in front of everyone and the camera. Seeing Boss Yang swallowing a pill worth 80 million yuan, everyone didn't know what to say for a moment. That's 80 million. But they kept talking for a long time, but in the end they didn't say a word. And when everyone in the live broadcast room saw that Boss Yang had eaten the Bingji jade bone pill so quickly, there was an inexplicable look of expectation in their eyes. Even Reba and Lu Tianxian next to Boss Yang were the same. They really want to know whether the ice muscle jade bone pill is what Yang Lin said. Perhaps seeing this, the cameraman at the scene quickly focused the camera on Boss Yang. Just when the camera focused on her, slight changes began to slowly happen in Boss Yang's body. The first thing that changed was the hair on her head. I saw that the originally dry and bifurcated hair quickly became dark, soft, and shiny under the influence of an inexplicable medicinal power. Even through the screen, everyone can feel its silky smoothness. After his hair, Boss Yang's facial skin also began to transform. The dark circles, bags under the eyes and fine lines under the eyes that couldn't be covered by foundation are fading at a speed visible to the naked eye. The dullness and gray spots that appear on both sides of the nose due to age changes also disappear under the skin like magic. Red blood streaks, acne marks, hypertrophic scars as small as sesame seeds, blackheads, and all kinds of blemishes that appeared on the skin disappeared without a trace in just a second or two. The texture of the skin has also become delicate, white, and firm at a speed visible to the naked eye. Even when the camera is pointed at the face, it still looks like delicate porcelain. Even the eyes that cannot be affected by normal means become clear and bright. And these are just on the face. Boss Yang himself can even clearly feel that some of the fat accumulated on his body and some posture problems are also quietly changing. It is no exaggeration to say that at this moment, she felt like she had been reborn. What surprised her even more was that after she swallowed the Bingji Yuga pills, a faint scent of flowers and plants appeared on her body, just like a natural body fragrance. While Boss Yang was delighted with his own changes, Reba and Lu Tianxian on the side were so shocked that they were speechless by her rejuvenated appearance. Even when they looked at Boss Yang's face, they unconsciously felt ashamed of themselves. And if the two of them were shocked, Chen Lan on the other side was filled with regret. She had known that Bingji Yuga pills had such powerful effects, let alone 80 million, she would have followed even if it was 100 million. Unfortunately, there is no regret medicine in this world. She only hoped that the pills in the other two small porcelain bottles in Yang Lin's hands were also Bingji Yuga pills. However, Yang Lin's next speech disappointed her. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 112. The third product I want to put on the shelves is also an elixir. In front of the camera, under the expectant eyes of the audience, Yang Lin slowly picked up the second small porcelain bottle. This elixir is called Dragon Spirit Tiger Fierce Pill, and it is also made from the treasures I found while I was practicing in the mountains. If a man takes this elixir, it can replenish his essence and strengthen his energy. Even in his 70s, the yang energy in his body can still gather and not disperse. The starting price is the same as the Bingji Jade Bone Pill just now, 3 million. Following Yang Lin's introduction, the expressions of everyone present and the audience in the live broadcast room became different. Even Reba asked Boss Yang on the side with a curious look. Sister Me, what do Yang Lin's words mean just now? What replenishes essence and strengthens energy, what yang energy? Hearing Reba's question, Boss Yang's face, as tender as mutton fat, suddenly showed a hint of embarrassment. The next second, she leaned into Reba's ear and whispered a few words. As soon as she finished speaking, Reba's face turned red, and at the same time she couldn't help but complain. This Yang Lin is really unorthodox. Why is he still refining this kind of elixir? But there probably aren't many people who want this kind of elixir. While saying this, she couldn't help but glance around at the male stars around her. At this moment,
whether it was Kun Kun, Hua Hua, or Xiao Yu, their eyes were almost shining. His eyes were fixed on the porcelain bottle in Yang Lin's hand. At the same time, the audience in the live broadcast room exploded instantly. Dragon Spirit Tiger Fierce Pill, as soon as you hear the name, you will know that it is very powerful. But will the effect really be what Yang Lin said? Didn't you see the change that Boss Yang made after taking the Ice Muscle Jade Bone Pill just now? It was like turning on the beauty function to the maximum on the spot. That is to say, if I hadn't just seen the change in Boss Yang, I wouldn't have believed that there really was such a powerful elixir in the world. Since the effect of the Ice Muscle Jade Bone Pill is real, then the effect of the Dragon Spirit Tiger Pill will definitely not be bad. No way, no way. Some people really need to rely on medicine to nourish themselves now. I don't need it anyway. That's right, I don't need it at all, but a friend of mine is a little troubled and wanted to ask if there is a low-end version. I have a friend too. Brothers upstairs, stop pretending. If you really have a problem, you can try oyster essence. It's not expensive and not unreasonable. Thank you on my friend's behalf. You're quite a nice person. You guys are not hard-boiled, but you are so tough talking. If I had money, I would buy it right away. Just when the audience in the live broadcast room was talking a lot because of the special nature of the Dragon Spirit Tiger Pill, a bidding link was also posted in the live broadcast room. Perhaps it was because of the exaggerated effects of the Bingji Yuga pills that many people realized the magical effects of Yang Lin's elixirs. So as soon as the link came up, people started bidding. The bidding price is also rising rapidly at a speed that exceeds that of all previous products. 3 million, 6 million, 8 million. In less than a minute, the price was called dozens of times, and the price went up again and again. In the blink of an eye, it exceeded 1,000. Faced with such a result, everyone couldn't hold back anymore. 34 Shinksuzi have already participated in the bidding. 35 of them. Who says men don't have spending power? Isn't this spending power pretty strong? Is there just such a layout upstairs? Are you so sure that only men are bidding? I'm afraid you don't know what it means to be nice to him or to me. That's absolutely correct. The person participating in the auction may not necessarily be Brother Fu, but it may also be Sister Fu. Yang Lin did this on purpose. The previous Ice Muscle Jade Bone Pill was targeted at women, and this Dragon Essence Tiger Pill is aimed at men. It will kill them all. You keep saying you don't need it, and now you are rushing to buy it? Men are indeed the toughest. Is this really that important to men? Of course it is important. If beauty is a woman's second life, then a strong waist is a man's second life. And this thing is like a terminal disease. Once a problem occurs, it can only be treated. For those rich people, this is simply a miracle medicine. I suggest Yang Lin mass produce this thing and bring down the price. Damn. 56 Shinksu boys participated in the bidding, and it exceeded 20 million. While most of the viewers in the live broadcast room could only look forward to exploring the elixir, the price of the Dragon Essence Tiger Elixir had been increased to 28 million. Although the increase is not as sharp as the previous Bingji Yuga pill, it is better than lasting. 3 minutes later, the price climbed to 30 million. 5 minutes later the price climbed to 35 million. 10 minutes have passed and the bidding is still continuing, which has exceeded the previous bidding time record for all commodities. Inexplicably, all the spectators felt a little nervous. Until now, they have never understood that a charity event involving celebrities and artists would develop into what it is now. All they can do now is just stare at the constantly beating price and watch it soar to a number that most people dare not even imagine. Half an hour later, when the price reached 85 million, the expressions on everyone's faces were already numb. Is there any mistake? Someone actually spent 85 million to buy a pill. Crazy, crazy, I can't understand the thoughts of rich people. With these 85 million,
I can eat oysters as a meal, and I will kill myself. With 85 million, I can buy myself 2 healthy waists. Wouldn't they look good? I can find 10 martial artists each to press a toe for me. It shouldn't go up anymore. I feel like this is already the limit. Maybe. Before everyone could finish speaking, the price, which had not changed for a long time, jumped again, from 85 million to 90 million. This. No one thought that the sky-high price of 85 million could rise further. And once it rises, it will be 5 million. When they reacted from the huge shock, Long Jingomanden finally completed the transaction at a terrifying price of 90 million. The user who bought this elixir chose to remain anonymous for some unknown reason. It can only be seen from his IP address that he is from the Magic City. At this moment, both the live broadcast site and the atmosphere in the live broadcast room couldn't help but undergo a slight change. Yang Lin sold 3 sky-high priced items in succession, which had already numbed their nerves. Cumulatively, Yang Lin's personal sales have successfully exceeded 100 million. And this process did not even take more than an hour in total, completely crushing the top leaders in the cargo industry. Everyone has reason to believe that Yang Lin may create a miracle in the cargo industry today. Just when everyone was thinking differently, Yang Lin picked up the last bottle of pill. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 113. As 2 pills were sold for horrifyingly high prices, everyone also had a new understanding of the small porcelain bottle in Yang Lin's hand. Those were not pills at all, they were clearly mountains of gold, grains of priceless rare concentrated substances. Calculated by volume, a pill only weighs about 2 grams at most, and its price per gram far exceeds that of those rare elements. So when Yang Lin took out the 3rd small porcelain vase, everyone's eyes were immediately attracted to it. What kind of elixir is it this time? The first bottle is for women, the second bottle is for men, and this third bottle. Don't think about it, the contents of this third bottle will only be more expensive. Unless you can live forever if you eat it, I won't have any idea. You think it's Tang monk's meat. If you eat it, you will live forever. That is to say, it is impossible for something like this that violates the laws of nature to appear in the world. Amid everyone's speculation, Yang Lin also began to introduce the third pill in his hand. This elixir is called Tianwang Baoxin Dan. The main medicinal material I chose is a century-old ginseng, supplemented by Polygonatum sibericum, Ganoderma lucidum and other precious herbs. A person who is about to die can preserve his heart pulse for 24 hours if he takes it. As long as he has a breath left, he can be revived. If a normal person takes it, they can extend their life by 1 year. The starting price is 10 million. When they heard the first sentence, everyone didn't have much reaction. After all, in their view, ginseng, Polygonatum, Ganoderma and other medicinal materials are precious but within the reach of ordinary people. But as they listened, their expressions changed. Especially when he heard the last words he said, the expression on his face unconsciously became dull. Even everyone in the live broadcast hall did not expect that the effect of the third pill would be like this. It's an exaggeration enough to be able to save someone with just 1 breath left. And if it can extend a person's life by 1 year, this is no longer an exaggeration. This is already unbelievable. So far, according to scientific research, life can be lengthened through daily maintenance and eating certain types of food. But this is not 100% true. After all, there are still people who die young in longevity villages. But Yang Lin dared to say that a small pill like his could directly increase his lifespan by 1 year. This made everyone shocked and at the same time a little suspicious. On the contrary, the astonishing starting price at the end became so inconspicuous. After a long moment of silence,
Xiao Yuiyu, who was sitting not far from Yang Lin, secretly asked in a very low voice. Yang Lin, is this elixir of yours true? Can you really live for one more year after taking it? Hearing Xiao Yuiyu's deep voice, several celebrity artists in the live broadcast hall immediately pricked up their ears. Yang Lin nodded without thinking after hearing Xiao Yuiyu's question. Of course, the lifespan is only 1 year. If I have enough materials, I can even refine the Juxia pill that will increase the lifespan by 30 years. What, do you want to buy it? As soon as Yang Lin finished speaking, Xiao Yuiyu nodded first, and then shook his head. Forget it, it's useless for my master to live for 1 more year, and he won't make much contribution to society. For 10 million, if I let him stay in the ICU every day, he could stay there for 3 years. Hearing Xiao Yuiyu's words, several celebrities present almost laughed out loud. At the same time, the auction link of the product was also uploaded to the live broadcast room by the operator of the program team. When the link appeared, the audience in the live broadcast room realized that Yang Lin was not joking just now. The starting price is really 10 million. This is too exaggerated. If the effect of the medicine is really as Yang Lin said, I don't think it is an exaggeration at all. That's true. Our lives may not be worth 10 million, but to those rich people, 10 million is nothing. If the first pill is for women, and the second pill is for men, then this third pill is for everyone. After all, who doesn't want to live? Don't you understand? The real value of this elixir is not that it can save lives, but that it can extend one's lifespan by 1 year. Selling it for 1 billion is not an exaggeration. This will vary from person to person. For example, my annual salary is only 40,000 to 50,000 yuan, but for those business leaders, the value created in a year is more than tens of billions. To put it simply, this elixir is more valuable to the richer people. For us ordinary people, the only thing that is valuable is its life-saving properties. The question is, does it actually extend lifespan, and how can this be verified? I still don't believe there are drugs in the world that can directly extend life. The world's richest man can only achieve this by replacing blood and organs. The big guys won't think about it that much. Just when the audience in the live broadcast room had different attitudes, in a luxury villa area in Jinghai, a white-haired old man was looking at the mobile phone screen with excitement. To be precise, he was staring at the phone in Yang Lin's hand on the screen. Small porcelain vase. The next second I heard him shouting outside. Li Qian, how much money do we still have on our account? As soon as the old man finished shouting, a middle-aged man who looked somewhat similar to him walked into his study. Father, why do you ask this? Don't worry, just tell us how much money we can spend now. Faced with the old man's tough attitude, the middle-aged man replied after hesitating. Last week, we purchased a batch of imported medical equipment and a batch of Chinese medicinal materials, which cost 80 million. Now the company and our own account should have about 300 million left. 300 million. Upon hearing this number, the old man frowned visibly. It's not enough, you go and sell all the stocks I have now. In addition, we took several of our properties on Wanjiao Mountain to the bank as mortgage. Father, why do you want so much money? Seeing his father's excitement, the middle-aged man asked in confusion. But the old man didn't intend to explain that much to him. You don't have to worry about it. You just need to know that the opportunity for our He family to become a celebrity is right in front of us. As long as we seize this opportunity, our He family can become a famous family in the entire Jinghai and even the entire eastern Guangdong. Seeing his father look so solemn for the first time, the middle-aged man did not dare to neglect, and immediately turned around to raise money. After the middle-aged man left, the old man quickly dialed the numbers of several old friends. At the same time, some other people in Jinghai who had some interactions with Yang Lin and knew his abilities were also moved after seeing the third pill. especially the Chen family of Wanjiao Mountain, whose family witnessed with their own eyes Yang Lin's resurrecting technique and forcibly rescued their old lady. Therefore, they have no doubt about the efficacy of Tianwang Baoxin pill. Even if it cannot be used for personal use, this elixir can be used as a commercial bargaining chip with unlimited potential. If used properly, it can yield tenfold or even 100-fold benefits. It is no exaggeration to say that this small pill has stirred up the entire Jinghai at this moment. As for the upcoming battle, no one in the live broadcast room knew anything about it. All they know is that the price has remained at the lowest price for nearly a minute since the link went online. But what happened next was something they would never forget. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 114. In the live broadcast room, as time passed, the number of viewers had reached its peak. Some of them were viewers of the original show, while the other part came to watch the show after hearing about a series of things that happened in the live broadcast room. Taken together, the number of people is close to 2 million. At this moment, the 2 million viewers were staring at the bidding link in the upper right corner of the screen. They couldn't understand why the bidding price had not changed after such a long time. Does it mean that no one cares about lifespan? Just when everyone had this idea, the bidding price changed for the first time. It jumped from 10 million to 50 million, which is a direct increase of 5 times. In an instant, the originally peaceful live broadcast room felt as if a bomb had been dropped. Come on, the dispute has begun. I thought it was going to be aborted, but the boss finally took action. The auction failed? How could it be that the auction failed? It's probably because the big guys didn't have the confidence to take down this heavenly king's heartbreaking pill. I have a feeling that there will be a bloody storm next. This has already jumped from 10 million to 50 million. Isn't it bloody enough? I'm just kidding, let me describe it to you this way. If this was a landlord fight, the 50 million just now was just a small 4. The real big name is yet to come. How much higher can it be? Over 100 million. Over 100 million? You are looking down on those big guys. What a red chicken. This is more exciting than those professional auctions. Just as everyone was talking in the live broadcast room, the bidding price that was still 50 million just now increased by 50 million again. And this also means that the price of Tianwang Baoxin pill has successfully exceeded 100 million. Facing such a sky-high price, everyone felt their hearts beating faster. They may have expected that the price of Tianwang Baoxin pill would definitely exceed 100 million, but no one expected that it would be so fast. Holy shit, this is over 100 million, this is too damn fast. I'm convinced. I'm completely convinced. The big guys are increasing the price by 50 million yuan. I have worked for 10 years and my salary has not increased by more than 5,000 yuan. How can he dare to watch such a live broadcast? I admit that my situation was too small just now, and I was still doubting whether I could break 100 million. In fact, it was not only the ordinary people in the live broadcast room who did not expect it, but also the expressions on the faces of the program crew and the celebrity guests at the moment when the bidding price exceeded 100 million. Before the start of this event, according to the predictions of the program team, the amount of donations raised through the goods should be around 20 million. And this 20 million is still under relatively optimistic conditions. But none of them expected that the goal of 20 million would be achieved so easily. More importantly, the final donation is still growing at a crazy rate, even exceeding the original goal by 10 times. After the shock, Yao Yuan, the chief planner of the program, couldn't help but reveal a wry smile on his face. Turning to the other employees on the side, he said, "In the future, for any activities involving Yang Lin, I will make an emergency plan. He's just too scary." On the other side, Boss Yang and other artists sitting in the live broadcast hall also looked at Yang Lin in a different way. As artists themselves, their ability to make money is already beyond the imagination of most ordinary people. Especially top-notch people like them, who often earn millions or tens of millions from a commercial performance or a movie. But it takes a long time to earn this kind of money. Coupled with related operations and team maintenance, not much of it actually comes into their hands. So after seeing Yang Lin sell tens of millions or hundreds of millions of pills, their inner shock was actually no different from ordinary people. Oh my god, that's 100 million. Yang Lin sells a pill for 100 million. He ties my master and my uncle together and talks about it. Even if it's broken, he can't make 100 million in a year. Xiao Yuiyu, who was sitting at the table, sighed while silently dialing his master's phone number. Master, I found a job that pays faster, like 100 million in 10 minutes. It's not a bank robbery, but it's much faster than robbing a bank. While Xiao Yuiyu was talking, Huahua also looked at the concert schedule for the next year. I held 2 concerts last year. After deducting all kinds of random expenses, I earned almost 5 million from one concert. If I earn 100 million, I will hold 20 concerts, an average of 2 concerts a month. As he calculated, the expression on his face changed. No, you have to do 30 concerts a year now. Just as Huahua's face was filled with shock, Kunkan's slightly resentful voice also came from the side. Following his gaze, I saw that the bidding price that had just jumped to 100 million had now increased by 50 million, becoming 150 million. Noticing this change, Boss Yang immediately took a deep breath. I should have listened to my dad and studied medicine and traditional Chinese medicine. The entertainment industry is still far behind the medical industry. Rich people can skip watching movies, but they can't risk their lives. But this reminds me to quickly pay attention to the pharmaceutical sector. I have a hunch that the stock price of the pharmaceutical sector will definitely skyrocket. Before she finished speaking, Reba, who was standing by her, quickly took out her phone, opened the stock interface, and then started a series of operations. In just a moment, the bidding price on the screen jumped again, from 15 million to 200 million. But compared to the previous times, everyone was obviously much calmer this time. 100 million is already a number that is beyond the reach of most people, let alone 200 million. Of course, those who were calm were only the spectators, but for those who participated in the auction, the meaning was completely different. In the old house of the Chen family in Wanjiao Mountain, the head of the Chen family, Chen De, looked like his blood was gushing at the moment. He has also participated in many biddings in the past, and even won the development rights for the mid-level of Wanjiao Mountain at a price of more than 2 billion. But just now, when he entered the price of 200 million, his hands were shaking. It's not that I'm nervous, it's just that I feel unsure. Seeing his appearance, Chen Lan on the side quickly asked, "Father, are we sure?" Upon hearing her words, Chen De immediately smiled bitterly and shook his head. The limit I can accept is 500 million, but so far the only ones bidding are our Chen family, the He family, and the Zheng family. Those few haven't taken action yet. I'm afraid that once they do, we will be completely hopeless. And I'm worried that it's not just our Jinghai companies that are paying attention now. No way, it's just a pill. Is it really that exaggerated? Chen Lan said with a puzzled look. Haha, ever since the Taoist priest told you about its efficacy, it is no longer as simple as a pill. It is a life, an opportunity to fight for something big with something small. As soon as Chen De finished saying this, his expression suddenly changed. Here we go, the real fighting begins. At the same time, the audience in the live broadcast room also saw a terrifying scene. The sky-high price of 200 million that had just been fixed was now rolling again, and it was rolling several times. The speed was so fast and the increase was so large that it was staggering. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is.
Chapter 115. Jinghai Banwan Villa District. If Wanjiao Mountain is the ceiling of a mountaintop mansion, then Banwan Villa District is the sea view ceiling. Even the cheapest one among them is worth more than 150 million, and as a gangster, Luo Chen is currently in the villa closest to the seaside. But at this moment, the big man's attention was entirely focused on the mobile phone screen in front of him. Mata, I've already increased it to 350 million, and this fatty Li is still robbing me. Is he crazy? Believe it or not, I will find someone to get him tomorrow. As soon as Luo Chen finished speaking, a man with glasses standing next to him quickly comforted him. Brother, there is someone behind Fatty Li, and we can't touch him. Really? Isn't he just a stinky fish seller? Forget it, I won't argue with him, I'll throw money at him. After saying that, he chose to bid again. At the same time, in the top floor office of Jinlun Group's headquarters, Li Wanbo, the spokesperson of Jinlun Group who Yang Lin had helped, also looked annoyed. Luo Depeo is quarreling with me, right? Why does he insist on grabbing this pill from me? His father is dead, what does he want with this thing? And just as he was saying this, a young woman wearing a long skirt and a motherly face walked towards him holding a wine glass. My dear, isn't it just a pill? Is it really worth your quarrel with Luo Depeo? Besides, the price of this elixir has now soared to 400 million, which is a huge sum of money. Seeing this woman approaching, Li Wanbo quickly restrained his anger and patiently explained. Let me ask you, is our dad going up soon? The young woman nodded immediately after hearing Li Wanbo's words. That's what I say, but you also know that with my grandfather's condition, I'm afraid he won't be able to survive next spring. When my grandpa leaves, I'm afraid my dad won't be able to move up even half a step. Then what if our grandpa can live one more year? Will our dad join the circle? By then, your Wang family will not be in the same state as it is now. And I can also take advantage of my father's east wine to soar up. As soon as Li Wanbo said these words, the young woman suddenly felt a sense of enlightenment. My dear, if you say that, we have to take this pill no matter what. But are you sure that pill is really that magical? Li Wanbo just smiled at the young woman's question. How can something said by a strange man like Taoist Master Yang be false? When our child is born, we must give him a good name. While joking, he once again completed the price increase, and the price of Tianwang Baoxin pill was successfully raised to 500 million. At this moment, it was only 10 minutes before the bidding link was linked to the live broadcast room. For everyone in the live broadcast room, these 10 minutes were like watching a science fiction movie. It's 500 million, it's 500 million, brothers. I'm careless. I thought 100 million was the end point, but I didn't expect it to be the starting point. How much this will cost, I can't even think about it. 100 million in cash is more than a ton. This 500 million can kill me alive. I wonder if I can fill up my room. I can't imagine what kind of terrifying price this elixir will eventually be sold for. It's a pity that there are still too few people who know about the existence of this elixir. If it were placed around the world, guess how much the real wealthy people would spend to buy it? I don't know about others. Anyway, if those people with white cloths on their heads knew about this, they would definitely go crazy. It's 600 million, it's 600 million, brothers. The live broadcast is still going on, and the price increase has never stopped. Witnessed by millions of people, the price of Tianwang Baoxin soared from 10 million to 600 million, which has exceeded the net profit generated by most listed companies in a year. During this process, the audience also discovered that there were already several fewer people participating in the auction. Apparently Tianwang Baoxin Dan has exceeded their budget. And even these eliminated ones are all worth tens of billions. At the same time, after the bidding price reached 600 million, the increase gradually slowed down.
It took 3 minutes to change from 600 million to 700 million. 5 minutes later, it rose to 800 million. At this moment, most people are numb to prices, and all they can see is a series of unattainable zeros. And at this time, the price seemed to have finally stopped rising. Even after 1 minute, the price everyone saw was still 800 million. Seeing this, many people were muttering in their hearts. It's over. Is 800 million the upper limit? Otherwise, what else do you want? 800 million is already an astronomical number. That's true. For us ordinary people, there is no difference between 100 million and 800 million. Don't look at some wealthy people who easily have tens of billions or even hundreds of billions, but the liquidity they can use is only a few hundred million. It's over, it's finally over. My little heart can't stand it anymore. Yeah, it feels like I'm also participating in the bidding. A pill costs 800 million, which can buy a J-20. It's a pity that the money this time is not owned by himself, otherwise Yang Lin would be able to achieve financial freedom with this pill. Is it possible that people have achieved financial freedom? Just when most people thought that Yang Lin's Heavenly King Baoxin pill would eventually be sold for a sky-high price of 800 million, the bidding price in the upper right corner of the live broadcast room jumped again. But this moment almost shocked everyone's attention. I saw that the original bidding price of 800 million turned into 1 billion in an instant. Such a sudden change was something no one expected. After rubbing their eyes to make sure they saw it correctly, everyone's eyes showed disbelief. Is this over a billion? Holy crap, who is it this time? They just added 200 million. Are you crazy? After all, poverty limits my imagination. I don't even have that many happy beans. This long series of zeros is really beautiful. I don't know which big shot made the price. It probably won't be able to go up this time. It's hard to say, there are still too many hidden tycoons in the country. Just as everyone was frightened by the bidding price of 1 billion, Luo Chen and others who had just participated in the bidding received a call at the same time. After hanging up the phone, they couldn't help but let out a long sigh. More than 2 minutes later, the Heavenly King Baoxin pill provided by Yang Lin was finally successfully bought for a sky-high price of 1 billion by a mysterious man whose ID showed that he was in the imperial capital. This battle that lasted for more than 10 minutes also came to an end. But even so, everyone's mood has not relaxed yet. It is obvious that the bidding just now had a great impact on them. Before this, they never thought that one day they would see a product worth 1 billion in a live broadcast. He never thought that this item was just a pill. After a few minutes of silence in the live broadcast room, everyone couldn't help but look at the little Taoist priest with a calm face in the live broadcast room again. They even fantasized about how the big guys would respond if Yang Lin came out with 3 more bottles of pills. Fortunately, Yang Lin didn't do this. He just glanced at the price on the screen and said with a hint of surprise, "If you can sell it for so much money, then you probably don't need to take out the remaining items." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 116. As the auction of Tianwang Baoxin pill came to an end, Yang Lin had sold 4 items so far. The first product, Feng Shui Qi Shi, was sold for 12 million yuan. The second product, Bingji Yuga pills, was sold for 80 million yuan. The third item, Longjing Omandan, was sold for 90 million yuan. The fourth item, the Heavenly King Baoxin pill, sold for a sky-high price of 1 billion. The combined sales of the 4 items reached an extremely terrifying 1.182 billion. Not to mention in this event, even if you look at the entire live streaming industry, such data is legendary. It has never happened before,
and it most likely will not happen in the future. But after the shock, everyone finally remembered one thing. That is, according to the regulations of the program team, each celebrity guest needs to sell at least 5 items and at most 10 items. This means that Yang Lin should still have at least one product in his hand. Thinking of this, everyone's eyes couldn't help but look at the inconspicuous cloth bag in Yang Lin's hand. The host, who had been reduced to a mere decoration, seemed to finally remember his responsibilities at this moment, and quickly ran to Yang Lin's side and asked softly, "Teacher Yang, do you have anything else to sell here?" Hearing the host's question, Yang Lin nodded first, then shook his head. "Forget it. It's already lunchtime. It would be bad to delay everyone's lunch." As soon as these words came out, everyone present could not help but be stunned. After taking a look at the time, I realized that it had already reached 12:30 noon without realizing it. It has been 4 hours since they started broadcasting. It stands to reason that this live broadcast should end here. But when they thought that Yang Lin still had something to take out, they felt like there were cat claws scratching in their hearts. After getting Yang Lin's answer, the host also glanced backstage. After seeing the program director winking at him desperately, he immediately said with a smile, "Teacher Yang, thank you for bringing so many good things to everyone today. Although the subsequent products cannot be displayed one by one due to time constraints, you might as well introduce them to everyone here. The audience in the live broadcast room is still very curious. Dear viewers, you think so?" As soon as the host finished speaking, the barrage in the live broadcast room started to go crazy. That's right, that's right. The first few items are already so awesome, but the rest of them are incredible. If I don't know what the other items Yang Lin has prepared are today, I won't be able to sleep even if I die. Isn't it because he took a pill that can turn him into an immortal? Is there any possibility that it is a secret book for cultivating immortality? Damn it, I didn't get anything today. What a pity. Next time, next time. That's right, I don't like anything Yang Lin sells this time. If I like it, I'll buy too. In fact, not only the audience in the live broadcast room, but also Boss Yang and other celebrities at the scene also cast curious glances at Yang Lin. Seeing everyone's appearance, Yang Lin could only nod helplessly. I was in a hurry this time and didn't bring anything too good. So I just picked a few small items that I usually make in the mountains. As he spoke, Yang Lin took out something from the bag again. Immediately, the camera lens focused on such a thing. With just one glance, everyone's faces showed confusion. A book. That's it? It looks very ordinary. Is there a possibility that this is the legendary secret book for cultivating immortals? If that's really the case, then just pretend that I didn't say what I just said. It's unlikely. If it was really a secret book for cultivating immortals, Yang Lin probably wouldn't have taken it out. I have a hunch that this book won't be simple. Not only the audience in the live broadcast room were speculating, but even Luo Chen and others who had not grabbed the pills before were showing signs of excitement at this moment. They didn't think that Yang Lin would bring out any ordinary objects like the viewers in the live broadcast room. And just when everyone's attention was focused on the blue-covered thread-bound book, the host spoke again. "Teacher Yang, could you please introduce this book?" Upon hearing this question, Yang Lin nodded immediately. "This book is actually nothing special. It's just a health-preserving boxing technique that I compiled by observing the daily behaviors of animals in the mountains. It's called the Ageless Zhangchun Kung. If you practice it all year round, you can keep your body light and healthy, and your life can be prolonged." After listening to Yang Lin's introduction, everyone present, including the host, suddenly brightened up. Although Yang Lin just said it in an understatement, they knew that Yang Lin had real skills. After all, they don't believe that a so-called health-preserving boxing method can knock away a strong man weighing more than 100 pounds with one palm. This is true for everyone present, not to mention everyone in the live broadcast room. I'll just say it's a secret book, The Eternal Spring Kung Fu. It's not simple when you hear the name. Not necessarily. Yang Lin said it. It's just a health-preserving boxing method. It should be the same as Bajuanjian, Wukanexai, and Tai Chi. You can tell at a glance that you haven't seen Yang Lin's other live broadcasts before. He jumped dozens of meters before. That's right, I'm carrying bullets with my body. I'm kidding you. But it's a pity. Judging from his appearance, he doesn't plan to sell this secret book. Just when everyone was speculating about the specific content of the Immortality Chang Chun Kung, Yang Lin suddenly said with a wry smile. No need to guess anymore, this boxing technique is really not what everyone thinks. In addition, I just saw that a lot of male fans seem to have some physical problems. I can teach you a little trick that I summarized in the everlasting Chang Chun Gong to cultivate yang energy. You can practice it with me. This is a little benefit I give everyone. After practice, the live broadcast will end here. As soon as Yang Lin said this, everyone fell silent instantly. TCH, that's it? I don't need it at all. I'm leaving. You can practice slowly along with me. That's right, what kind of benefit is this? I want you to practice while I go to eat. Put your hands on the keyboard to show your innocence. Let's go, let's go. Under the gaze of the camera lens, Yang Lin quickly stood up. The next second he performed a series of moves in front of everyone. At the same time, the number of people in the live broadcast room increased instead of decreasing, and was about to reach 2.5 million. In this process, there were very few barrages in the live broadcast room. When Yang Lin finished showing off a set of moves, Xiao Yuyu and other three male artists who were secretly practicing on the side suddenly changed their expressions and sat down immediately. At this moment, they only felt as if a torch was lit in their lower abdomen. At the same time, the viewers in the live broadcast room on the other side also exploded. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 117. The tips Yang Lin demonstrated included a total of 10 movements. The movements themselves were not very difficult. In addition, during the practice, Yang Lin also included detailed breakdowns. Therefore, even ordinary people can easily complete the entire set of movements by following Yang Lin's rhythm. At the beginning, most people didn't think the set of actions was so magical. But when the whole set of movements was over, the male spectators who followed the practice felt the changes in themselves just like the three male artists present. Holy crap, this is so fucking real. My body started to react just after I finished practicing. Me too, I swear, I didn't think about anything. I feel like my waist is soaked in hot water. No, I don't dare to stand up now. The effect comes too quickly. Just practice it once and the effect is so terrifying. If I practice it for a year, then your girlfriend will suffer a lot. You people are so hypocritical. You just said you wouldn't watch anymore, and now you're all following suit. TCH, no one left at all. As a girl, asking questions sincerely, is the effect really that good? Girls should stop asking about boys' things. From today on, Yang Lin is my real idol. The dragon spirit and tiger pill just now is worth 90 million, so this set of actions must be worth 9 million. Health boxing times introduction to male models square root dot. The days when rich women gave medicine are gone forever, now they practice martial arts instead. The small set of moves in it are so awesome, this book deserves to be called a strange book. Amidst the comments of those netizens in the live broadcast room who were dissatisfied with his integrity, Boss Yang and the other three people were already blushing. They obviously didn't expect that Yang Lin would teach these things in front of so many people. But, how can a little Taoist priest like him think about these things all day long, Reba said with a look of disgust. It's too unruly, and there are so many people practicing with it. Lu Tianxian also covered his face. On the contrary, Boss Yang on the side looked indifferent. What's the problem? Taoism always pays attention to health preservation. But then again, he must have been practicing for a long time. Hearing Boss Yang's words, Reba and the two people on the side immediately looked at her with strange eyes. When the two of them saw this, Boss Yang immediately hurriedly explained. I mean, his martial arts is so good, he must have practiced it since he was a child. What are you thinking about? While the three of them were whispering, the live broadcast on the other side was coming to an end. There is no way, according to original estimates, this live broadcast will be broadcast until 12 o'clock at most. But due to Yang Lin, it's almost 1 o'clock now. The host, who had disappeared for a long time, finally returned to the stage. Thank you, Teacher Yang, for your selfless sharing. Dear viewers, our special program ends here. With everyone's joint efforts, we raised a total of 1.334 billion in donations during today's event. This has far exceeded our previous expectations. After the final decision of the program team, we will not hand over this donation to any charity for the time being. At the same time, we will set up a special foundation in the name of several teachers present to operate this donation. We will also disclose the use of all funds to everyone later, and everyone's supervision is welcome. After the host's concluding remarks, the live broadcast officially came to an end. However, another traffic feast is about to begin. Almost everyone can imagine what kind of impact it will have on the entire Dragon Kingdom internet after the live broadcast ends. It is no exaggeration to say that any small thing that happened during today's live broadcast is enough to be on the hot search and become the focus of discussion among the people. Even without Yang Lin's appearance, the performance of several other stars alone is enough to occupy the front page of any entertainment media. The process and final price of the few items Yang Lin sold undoubtedly brought the popularity of this event to another level. In fact, that's exactly what happened next. Even without the participation of those netizens, the media and marketing accounts were already going crazy. One eye-catching news headline after another appears like a barrage on major websites. The Feng Shui stone sold for a sky-high price of 12 million, is it worthy of the name, or is it an IQ tax? Bingji Yuga pill, a beauty elixir worth 80 million yuan, makes Boss Yang 18 years old again. The rise of traditional Chinese medicine, the miraculous Bingji Yuga pills, and Boss Yang's transformation path. The rich man from the mysterious magic city spent 90 million to win the magic medicine to nourish Yang. Shock. The sky-high price of 1 billion, many parties fighting, just for one pill. A new miracle of bringing goods, the new leader of the internet appears. New blueprint for the future, traditional Chinese medicine companies will eventually rise. At this moment, whether it is entertainment self-media or other types of self-media, there is no need to consider how to create hotspots. Because the entire live broadcast is full of hotspots, just picking out a section can attract the attention of a large number of netizens. So much so that soon there were screen swipes on the internet. Under such indiscriminate bombardment, the content of the live broadcast soon became known to the entire internet. In this process, the name that appeared most frequently was Yang Lin. This is also the first time that most people know that there is such a young Taoist priest in the entertainment industry. As the biggest beneficiaries, the senior executives of the Come On, Fighting Workers program group are already overjoyed. With such a huge wave of popularity, their position as the #1 brother in variety shows on the entire network is firmly established. Because of this, after the live broadcast, the program team came up with the unprecedented idea of treating everyone to dinner. Half an hour later, Chief Planner Yao Yuan booked a 5-star hotel near the live broadcast hall. However, in order to avoid unnecessary trouble, the program team, together with several celebrities such as Yang Lin, went in batches. It just so happened that Yang Lin was also assigned to the same car as Boss Yang and the 3 actresses. As soon as Yang Lin settled down, Reba on the side moved her face towards him. Hey, Yang Lin, do you still have the ice muscle jade bone pill that sister me bought just now in stock? Hearing her words, Lu Tianxian, who was sitting in the passenger seat, immediately turned his face. Judging from her longing eyes, she obviously had the same idea as Reba. Just as Yang Lin was about to answer the two people's questions, his expression suddenly changed in the next second, and his eyes drifted out of the car window. Just when everyone didn't understand why he suddenly became so serious, he suddenly said, "Master, stop the car, you can't go any further." Hearing Yang Lin's words, the driver immediately stepped on the brakes. Before he could ask why Yang Lin asked him to stop the car, Yang Lin, who was sitting in the back seat, had already opened the car door. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 118. Seeing Yang Lin suddenly get out of the car, the three bosses in the car were at a loss. What's going on? This is the middle of the road. Why did Yang Lin get off the car as soon as he said he got off? Yeah, it felt like his expression was so serious just now. Did something happen that we don't know about? Let's not talk about this for now. There must be a reason why he got off the bus. Let's follow him and see if we can find out. In doubt, Boss Yang and the other two hurriedly followed Yang Lin's footsteps and got out of the car. Although it is not the peak period at this moment, because it is close to the city center, the traffic flow is still very large. As soon as the vehicle that Yang Lin and others were riding in stopped, it immediately caused a traffic jam, and the drivers behind them also honked their horns crazily. What are the people in front doing? Do you know the traffic rules? How can you park in the middle of the road? That's right, you think this is your home. What are you doing? Why are there people getting off the car casually on the road? Get out of the way quickly, I'm in a hurry. However, under the urging of the vehicles behind him, Yang Lin, who got off the car first, suddenly walked to the middle of the road. A speeding car almost hit him. Seeing this dangerous situation, Boss Yang and the other two men were so frightened that they broke into cold sweat. While trying to pull Yang Lin away from the middle of the road, they did not forget to apologize to the owner of the car. Yang Lin, what's wrong with you? You're in danger. Yes, this is a traffic artery, so this will affect many people. As soon as Boss Yang finished speaking his words of persuasion, Yang Lin's frown deepened. At the same time, he murmured to himself. How could this happen? Why does everyone here have a strong sense of death? Dead energy? What death energy? Boss Yang immediately wondered when he heard Yang Lin's voice. But what Yang Lin said next made her scalp tingle. Death energy is a special sign that only appears in people who are about to die. Just now I saw a person on the roadside getting out of a car with the aura of death on his head, but what I didn't expect was that the aura of death is lingering on everyone here at this moment. Everyone? Reba asked in disbelief. Including us. As soon as she finished speaking, Yang Lin nodded. If nothing else happens, everyone here will die later. This. Boss Yang and the other three never thought that Yang Lin would say such a thing. If anyone else had said this, they would have simply regarded him as a lunatic. But the person who said this was Yang Lin, so they had to think about it. Even so, they did not dare to completely believe Yang Lin's words. It happened that at this moment, the car owners who were forcibly stopped seemed to be impatient and got out of the car one by one. The leading men were even ready to carry Yang Lin away directly. But when they got closer and saw the faces of Yang Lin and others, their expressions suddenly changed. Huh? These people look a bit familiar. Yeah, that woman over there looks like Boss Yang. The one next to her looks a bit like Reba. There is another one who looks like Lu Tianxian. This is no longer a resemblance, this is me. I just said that Taoist priest looks familiar. Isn't this Yang Lin? I just watched their live broadcast. I didn't expect to see him in person so soon. It's them, it's really them. Everyone who was still angry suddenly changed their expressions after recognizing the identities of Yang Lin and others. At the same time, they rushed towards Yang Lin and others immediately. After confirming again that they were themselves, a look of surprise appeared on the face of a tall and round man. Yang Lin, it's really you. I just said it looks so familiar. The tips you just taught on the live broadcast are really useful. Can I take a photo with you? Not only this eldest brother, but other drivers have also turned into ardent fans at this moment. Not long after, Yang Lin and the others were surrounded by water. Traffic, which was already close to being paralyzed, was now completely paralyzed. At this moment, a siren sounded not far away. 2 minutes later, a mounted policeman walked out of the crowd. When he saw Yang Lin and others surrounded by everyone in the center, he was stunned for a moment, and then he immediately realized what was going on, and a trace of anger could not help but appear on his face. Hello, although you are celebrities, your current behavior has violated Dragon Kingdom's traffic security regulations. Please leave the main road immediately. We will punish you for your behavior later. Just as the mounted policeman issued a verbal warning, a group of people from the program team finally rushed over. After seeing the situation at the scene, the chief planner Yao Yuan's face suddenly became unsightly. As celebrities and public figures, their every move is watched by countless eyes. If Yang Lin and the others have caused such a big incident, they will be condemned by the whole people at least, and directly classified as bad artists at worst. The reputation that the program team has worked so hard to build will fall short if they fail to do so. G.S% carrot. Thinking of this, he quickly walked to Yang Lin and persuaded. Teacher Yang, what you just did was indeed inappropriate. As public figures, we should abide by traffic rules. But before he finished speaking, Yang Lin looked at him with a heavy face and shook his head. You're actually about to die too. Ah. Yao Yuan obviously didn't expect Yang Lin to say such a sentence, and he was stunned on the spot. Just when Yao Yuan was in a daze, Yang Lin walked straight towards the mounted policeman. Comrade police officer, please report to your superiors immediately. A major accident is about to happen here. The number of casualties could exceed thousands. If possible, please ensure that surrounding roads are blocked off. Hearing Yang Lin's words, the dark-faced mounted policeman's expression immediately became serious. But it was obvious that he still couldn't completely believe Yang Lin based on just one sentence. So he quickly asked again. How do you know? This kind of thing is not something to be joked about. The other people around who heard what Yang Lin just said also looked suspicious at this moment. Is that why he stopped us all? No, how is this possible? With more than 1,000 casualties, how can an accident be so serious? But Yang Lin seems to be quite accurate in fortune-telling. Is what he said is true? So he actually wanted to save us when he stopped us. While the onlookers were whispering, Yang Lin spoke again. According to Pandeo's calculations, most of you died in flames, so the most likely thing is an explosion. I know you may not completely believe Pandeo, but if measures are not taken now, the consequences of this incident will be immeasurable. As Yang Lin said these words with a serious face, even those who didn't believe it at all couldn't help but murmur in their hearts. The mounted policeman reported the situation immediately. Even though he didn't completely believe that Yang Lin could really predict death, he didn't dare to gamble with the lives of thousands of people. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 119. Things have developed to this point, which has completely exceeded everyone's expectations.
Even Boss Yang and others who got off the bus with Yang Lin at first did not expect that it would eventually turn out like this. Thinking of what Yang Lin had just said, that all of them would be killed by the explosion, they felt a chill running down their backs. Is what Yang Lin just said true? Reba asked cautiously. He shouldn't be joking about this kind of thing casually, Boss Yang said with a solemn expression. This kind of thing requires legal responsibility, and he has no reason to lie to us. Lu Tianxian also had a thoughtful expression on his face. At this moment, the onlookers around him were completely in a rage. There will be an explosion and it will kill us all? Is it a terrorist attack? I broke into a cold sweat when I said that. It's all nonsense. I admit that Yang Lin has some abilities, but he is not the Lord of Hell. He said that we are all going to die. Will we really die? That is to say, but there is no need for him to be alarmist. He is such a big star, there is no need to risk his own future and career for such a prank. I'd rather believe it or not. I'll go back immediately. Nothing should happen. Let's go. Which way are we going? It's blocked in front and back now. Just when everyone was feeling a little uneasy, bursts of rapid sirens soon came from a distance. As the sound of sirens got closer and closer, more than 20 police cars came from all directions. Soon the scene was filled with police officers. In addition to the police officers responsible for sealing off the scene, a middle-aged policeman also walked towards Yang Lin and others with several policemen in explosion-proof uniforms. When the middle-aged policeman saw Yang Lin in the crowd, his eyes suddenly lit up. Daozang Yang, I knew it was you as soon as I heard them say it. In addition, I have reported your situation to the Municipal Bureau as soon as possible. Now the Municipal Bureau attaches great importance to it and has prepared for emergency evacuation. Hearing this familiar voice, Yang Lin realized that the person coming was Qin Feng, the captain of the Criminal Investigation Detachment who had dealt with him several times. But judging from his current police rank, he may have been promoted. This is why he directly chose to believe Yang Lin. But Chief Taoist, can you tell us the specific scope, time, and reason of the explosion? As soon as Qin Feng said these words, the eyes of everyone present could not help but focus on Yang Lin again. By now, they may have become less suspicious of Yang Lin, but so far there are no signs that a large-scale explosion will occur. All the sources of information are just Yang Lin's mouth. Just when everyone's eyes were focused on Yang Lin shook his head. There are too many factors involved in what happened this time. Pandeo will not be able to calculate it so accurately for a while. We can only roughly deduce that the explosion should have occurred in a few blocks around here. The explosion should have occurred in 3 minutes. As for the cause of the explosion. As he spoke, Yang Lin pinched his fingers and started calculating again. After more than 10 seconds, he looked directly at a gas station on the side of the road ahead. Following his gaze, everyone present quickly discovered the huge Longguo petrochemical gas station on the side of the road. No way, Yang Lin means that this gas station will explode later. That's probably what it means. What I'm saying is that this thing is so powerful. If there was an explosion at a gas station, it could really kill hundreds of people. But how can an explosion occur at a gas station under normal circumstances? Wait a minute, I think things may be more serious than you think. Look over there. Following the voice of a passerby, everyone's eyes also looked to the other side of the road. Just one look and their eyes widened. I saw a Longguo petroleum gas station on the opposite side of the road less than 100 meters away from the Longguo petrochemical gas station. The scale is no smaller than that of Longguo petrochemical. Holy crap! If this gas station explodes, then the one next to it shouldn't explode with it. That is inevitable. If a normal-sized gas station explodes, the impact range of the explosion may reach several hundred meters. If another gas station nearby was detonated by the way, the explosion might be no less than more than 100 tons of TNT being detonated in a concentrated manner. Don't talk about our place then,
All the nearby blocks will be destroyed. As everyone gradually realized this, an emotion called panic spread among everyone in an instant. Even though it has not been 100% confirmed so far, they dare not take a gamble. Ordinary people are like this, and Qin Feng's face is even more livid. Based on his understanding of Yang Lin, he believed everything Yang Lin said. And he knew even better that once the explosion really happened, most buildings within a few kilometers would be destroyed by the explosion. The number of casualties will only be more than what Yang Lin said just now, not less than what Yang Lin said. Realizing this, he immediately did not dare to delay any longer, and quickly shouted to the police officers on the side. Arrange an evacuation immediately and notify the fire department and hospital. Notify the traffic department to cut off traffic in the surrounding area. Hurry, hurry, hurry. As Qin Feng issued the order, the dozens of police officers he brought immediately started to move. At the same time, the passengers who had been intercepted earlier began to abandon the vehicle and flee. Even though they knew that there was not much time left for them to escape, they still exerted all their strength under the strong desire to survive. Stay as far away from the gas station ahead as possible. But the road at this moment was completely blocked, and they couldn't run very far even if they wanted to. What's more serious is that some residents living nearby and some passers-by simply don't believe that there will be an explosion. Seeing that the time mentioned by Yang Lin was getting closer, Qin Feng, who was in charge of the on-site command, began to sweat continuously on his forehead. He kept thinking about solutions, but in the end he overturned them one by one. Because time was so tight and there were too many people around who needed to be evacuated, the dozens of police officers he brought were simply not enough. Helplessly, he could only look at Yang Lin aside. At this moment, only Yang Lin, Boss Yang, and other people from the program team were left on the scene, and most of the other people chose to run away for their lives. Daozang Yang, is there really no way to prevent the explosion? After hearing Qin Feng's words, Boss Yang and others also looked at Yang Lin expectantly. But Yang Lin's next words made them despair. It's too late. If I could figure it out earlier, I might be able to stop it in advance. But now it's too late. After saying that, he looked towards the opposite lane. At the same time, a tanker truck hundreds of meters away was heading in their direction at an extraordinary speed. Judging from the angle and state of its driving, it seemed that it had completely lost control. More importantly, an open flame appeared in the tank behind the car. According to this trend, in a minute at most, it would cross the guardrail in the middle of the road and crash into the gas station on the same side as Yang Lin and others. Just as Yang Lin was looking forward, Qin Feng and others also discovered the out-of-control tank truck. Instantly, their eyes showed horror. They wanted to stop it, but they couldn't do anything. They could only watch the tanker rushing towards the gas station. If nothing unexpected happens, an unprecedented big explosion will come in tens of seconds. At this moment, everyone present was prepared to die. At the same time, a figure stepped on the green belt in the middle of the road and rushed towards the tank truck. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 120. From Yang Lin's prediction that a big explosion would occur here to the appearance of the flaming oil tanker, the whole process only lasted 2 or 3 minutes. Even though Qin Feng had arranged for the police to evacuate surrounding pedestrians and vehicles, where could the crowd retreat in such a short period of time? So when the tank truck appeared, those who had not yet left also noticed this horrifying scene. They who originally had a trace of luck in their hearts finally recognized the reality. Holy shit, stop that tanker truck. If it really crashed into the gas station would really explode. It's over, I'm really dead now. If I had known, I would have listened to Yang Lin and fled immediately. Stop it? How to stop it? That tanker truck is obviously out of control. Its speed has reached its limit.
Coupled with the weight of the vehicle itself, even a tank cannot stop it. It's dead. This tanker contains at least several tons of gasoline. Plus there are 2 gas stations. Once it explodes, there will be no grass for several kilometers. Sure enough, people still have to accept their fate. At the beginning of the year, a master said that I would have a great disaster this year, and now it has really come true. I love you, my wife. I've just grown up, and I haven't even tasted the pain of love. Just when everyone was about to leave their last words, they also noticed a figure running quickly towards the oil tanker on the green belt. But because the man was so fast, they didn't see clearly who he was, let alone what he was planning to do. It wasn't until the man ran to a lamppost that he finally stopped. At this moment, the speeding tanker truck happened to be less than 50 meters away from him. According to the driving trajectory of the vehicle, the tanker truck will directly hit his location. At that time, the entire green belt and the street lights in that area will be plowed by the tanker truck. But what they didn't expect was that the figure who stopped made an amazing move. I saw him hugging the thick street lamp pole suddenly, and then exerting force upwards. The street lamp pole connected to the ground was forcefully pulled up. And the street light pole, which weighed over 1,000 kilograms and was tens of meters long, seemed to turn into a big gun in his hands. As he straightened his back and lowered his steps, the street lamp pole plunged straight into the chassis of the oil tanker. In the next second, a picture that shocked everyone present appeared in front of them. Following everyone's gaze, the figure thrust the lamp pole into the chassis of the oil tanker, and at the same time, he suddenly lifted the lamp pole on his shoulders and exerted force with both hands. In an instant, the oil tanker, which weighed more than 10 tons, was tilted up by the street light pole. Because the speed was too fast, the car body rushed straight into the sky after flying, and its original direction of travel also changed. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, everyone present wouldn't have believed that a tanker truck could fly into the air. What was even more difficult for them to accept was that the tanker was still picked up by someone. Involuntarily, their eyes moved along the high-flying body of the oil tanker, and their mouths opened wide involuntarily. However, they also knew that although the tanker truck was intercepted, the crisis was not resolved. Once the tank truck lands, there is a high probability that an explosion will occur if the fuel leaks. Unless something acts as a buffer in the process. If it weren't for the lack of energy, everyone present would have been eager to rush forward and get the car off. At this critical moment, the man who had just picked up the tanker dropped the light pole again and rushed towards the direction of the tanker's whereabouts. When this scene fell into the eyes of everyone, many people immediately exclaimed, "Oh my God, what does he want to do? He couldn't be trying to catch the tanker truck by himself. Just kidding, how is this possible? The tanker weighs more than 10 tons and fell from a high altitude. If he had stood underneath, he would have been smashed into a pulp. Do you feel like this person is Yang Lin? Don't feel it, he is Yang Lin. In this Taoist robe, who else can be there besides him? He can't really catch this oil tanker." In the nervous and expectant eyes of everyone, Yang Lin, who was rushing towards the oil tanker on the other side, was not as calm as he appeared on the surface. It's a pity that the spiritual energy in this world is too thin. The current power in the body alone is not enough to cast powerful spells. It seems that we can only use some tricky methods. While muttering to himself, his eyes were fixed on the 2 fire hydrants beside the road. The next second, his whole body turned into an afterimage again. When he came to the fire hydrant, he hit the top of the fire hydrant with both palms at the same time. In an instant, the upper parts of the 2 fire hydrants were blown apart by his powerful palm force. Bah! In an instant, 2 powerful streams of water spurted out from the fire hydrant, like 2 huge fountains. Seeing this scene, Yang Lin did not dare to delay at all, and took a posture on the spot. As his hands shook, the gushing water quickly gathered around him.
At the same time, his feet moved towards the direction where the oil tanker fell at a strange pace. From the perspective of the surrounding spectators, Yang Lin seemed to have entered an extremely magical state at this moment. Every move seems to affect the energy of heaven and earth. Suddenly, everyone seemed to see the two streams of water changing into a Tai Chi shape in the air. Thinking of the movements of his hands and feet, many people have recognized the set of boxing techniques he is currently performing. And at this moment, the oil tanker finally fell from the sky. Taking advantage of the situation, the Tai Chi diagram composed of water flow above Yang Lin's head came up to him. At this moment, everyone held their breath. Boss Yang and others even covered their eyes, not daring to take another look. He was afraid that Yang Lin would be smashed into a puddle of flesh by a tanker truck in the next second. But after a long time, they didn't hear any sound. Until they looked at Yang Lin's location again. This. How can it be? Really? Everyone's expressions were surprisingly consistent at this moment, with no emotion other than disbelief. Following their gazes, they saw that the oil tanker, which weighed more than 10 tons, was being received by Yang Lin with both hands in a strange posture. It was as if the huge impact that could knock down a house didn't exist. Along with the Tai Chi diagram like water flow, all the forces were completely resolved. As Yang Lin gently let go, the oil tanker fell to the ground again. Except for the driver of the tanker who was frightened and fainted, the entire tanker was not damaged anywhere.